Beautiful Lagos, hey. Land of mercy, land of success, oh. For Lagos, everything it don't change, oh. I say Governor Body is doing a great job, oh. Street lights all over Lagos, oh. It's bringing out the beauty in Lagos, oh.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Lagos This Week. The program is devoted to showcasing the activities of Governor Akinwumi Ambode, members of his cabinet, the private sector and developmental partners at home and abroad. I'm Funke Adesoji. On our program tonight, we're tracking emergency management, preparation of the agency charged with this responsibility in Lagos to handle situations as they arise during the Yuletide. Reaction to Governor Akinwumi Ambode's plan to generate instant electricity for custom power to drive businesses in the state. This is coming in the wake of the Corporate Lagos interactive session held recently between the governor and business drivers in the state. He promised to tackle issues of power, security, and mass transportation to boost economic development in the state. Also in the week, the special advisor to the governor on tourism, arts and culture rolled out order of events to celebrate the Yuletide as the year winds down. She also spoke on repositioning the state as a tourism haven through arts and culture in line with the governor's plan for making the state the best tourist destination in the country. These and other stories in just a moment.
Beautiful Lagos, hey. Land of mercy, land of success, oh. For Lagos, everything it don't change, oh. I say Governor Body is doing a great job, oh. Street lights all over Lagos, oh. It's bringing out the beauty in Lagos, oh.
Welcome back. We begin this week's show with the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency plans to ensure swift response to emergency situations in the Yuletide. The General Manager of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Adesina Otiami, says the agency is poised to tackle any emergencies during the festivities. He cautioned Lagos residents to be security conscious at all times. The General Manager spoke on how the agency operates and how important every distress call is. The operations of the agency are not without some challenges: the crowd, free access on the road, and many more. Hear him.
Lagos State is very good when it comes to emergency management agency, and they have also, provided very good equipment that is probably second to none anywhere, in this part of Africa. I know we have, a powerful crane that does most of the lifting work. We also have a forklift, the one we call Goliath. We have super towing vehicles and the smaller ones. Then we have ambulances, we have power bikes. These are people who do reconnaissance before we send teams there, so that we don't go there without the necessary tools. Then we also have state-of-the-art control room, where you coordinate all the activities on ground. Then the call center, that's the first point of contact with the public, where you make a call and the call center agent is there to pick your call, take your details and the details of that incident, and immediately escalate to the control room from where dispatches were made. So far, it's been so good. You see, LASEMA is just a coordinator for all other emergency, related agencies, like the fire service, like the road safety, like the LASMA, like the RRS, like the task force, so many of them, ambulance service. So when we get there, we decide whose work is this, whose work is that. And quickly, everybody goes to work. Then you now have the crowd to contend with. And these are part of, those challenges we meet in the course of our job. There are those who want to genuinely help. There are those who are waiting for opportunity to loot. And there are those who will just want to come and look. There are those who come with their cameras to be the first to record and send to the internet. Those are challenges. In Lagos today, perhaps the most common incident that we attend to are, accidents. I mean, I don't know why, but that's the fact. How about the issue of tanker drivers all over Lagos falling? Some of them will say because roads are bad in Apapa. Yes, we agree. The government is doing something about it. But it only behoves on drivers to also drive very carefully, especially during the Yuletide period. See, let's demystify the issue of this Ember Month wahala. There's no wahala in the Ember months. It is the psychology of our people that must change. What you drove in January is what you drive in November. But the urgency to make more money to celebrate Christmas is probably the difference. But then, what does it profit you? If you're an attempt to make money, you lose your life. Someone else spend the money. So it's important for people to make sure that they stay alive. How do you stay alive? Don't drink when you drive. And if you have to drink, don't drive. And then observe the speed limit. Ensure that your vehicles are in good order, brakes are working well, your fog lights, your wipers, your trafficators, all of these indicators of good engines are there. When you have all of that, and then you are also a careful driver, you go and get to your destination safely. We want to have a Yule tide with less, incident of accident or anything. So we want to advise our people, drive carefully during this period and ensure that, for everybody who sits in your vehicle, those who should wear the seat belt, they should tighten their seat belt. It saves lives.
Lasema Bus rolls out response plans, tax residents on safety. But the activities of the agency are not also without some accidents and mishaps. We spoke on the list of tended to by the agency and why the emergency call lines are not to be abused.
Though emotion is there, we have to do the work. You cannot display dead bodies for public to see. We want to quickly pack them in bags and evacuate them to the mortuary as quickly as possible so that tempers don't run high when people see dead bodies, especially family members. So we also have emotion, but even with that emotion, we have to work. Imagine an accident occurring. 5 people are in the car, 3 of them dead. Those 2 are alive. You can imagine the trauma. Even while you carry people who are lifeless, you feel it. It could have been anybody. It could have been my brother. It could have been my sister or anybody. Just 3 days ago, we went somewhere in Yanapada to pick a dead 4-year boy from a well. When I saw the picture of that boy, I was overwhelmed with emotion. But what can we do? We have to do this work.
Now, business drivers in the state have reacted to Governor Akinwumi Ambode's plan to generate constant electricity for residents in 2018. The governor said the state government has already devised strategies to short-circuit power generation, transmission and distribution to ensure constant power supply. This business owner said it is the right step in the right direction.
To generate power in Lagos State, it's going to be a very good move and provide the kind of framework, right, and the right pedestal for investment. You see, there's no business that can start without power. A lot of cost goes to generating power privately. So, if the only thing that we need to look at there is the independent, partners that will come on board to work with Lagos State government to generate power, it's been made to do a kind of retooling with the Minister of Power. Because power distribution, we have Egin power plants, we have a lot of power plants, they form under different grids. And there's no way they can be done in isolation without a national grid. So we need to look at the kind of, we need to do a lot of kind of logistics working with the Minister of Power, in Lagos State. But at the federal level, if the program is successful, it's going to be able to help those who there are some people that they live mainly, there are some businesses, small scale businesses that they live mainly on power.
The Nigerian state suffers from lack of infrastructure, of which power is, only one. And power is very, very important because it affects the ability of, the Nigerian people to do business, particularly the manufacturing sector. It affects their output. It affects their prices, which are, unattractive, particularly when we compare them with, prices of goods from other nations, among other things. So power is very, very critical, very crucial. And so if you have a government that says, look, we are working on providing 3,000, megawatt, in partnership with the private sector. Wherever they are getting it from does not matter. What we need is power, even if they are getting it from heaven. The critical thing is that, look, for us to be able to move forward industrially, we need, we need energy, we need power. So, and the other leg of it, of course, is that when there is power now, are we going to be paying the same thing, that we are paying? Maybe not. A slight increase in tariff would be a welcome development as long as there is power itself. The sense in this is very simple. We know how much we spend on diesel, at the end of every month. The highest price of electricity cannot in any way be comparable with the cost of diesel, to an industrialist. So, I mean, if we have a reasonable increase, of course, it will be, a welcome development. But it is very, very critical, that we have power. That's why, we applaud that.
At a recent interactive session with members of the business community and informal sector, the governor remarked that the state had less than 1,000 megawatts and the fundamental issues remain with generation, transmission and distribution, and was talking with electricity distribution companies operating in the state to supply constant power to residents at a higher tariff, subject to agreement of all stakeholders, while the government will be the guarantor of the people. The special advisor to the governor on tourism, arts and culture has rolled out events to celebrate the Yuletide. Top of the agenda of the ministry is the Lagos Street Carnival, scheduled to hold on 3rd of December. The SA promised the event will be a colorful one, attracting Lagos residents from all walks of life, as well as people from outside the state and shores of the country. Speaking on the objectives of the carnival, the SA said it's a means to attract people to the state as a vibrant tourist haven, showcasing the rich, diverse culture and splendor of the state to the outside world. According to her, the private sector-driven event will also contribute to the economy of the state, as the event is expected to hold every year across the state.
The street carnival is to herald, the date is 3rd December, and as you all know, when you enter the month of December, we are already entering into the Yuletide time. So to herald the end of the year activities, joy, enjoyment, entertainment and all that, so we are starting with that street carnival on the 3rd of December. And what are the things that we want to do during this period? A carnival, like when you talk of carnival, one is to showcase all the diversity of culture in Lagos State on parade. There's going to be floats up and down the streets of Oba Akran, people dancing, eating, showcasing diverse culture from different local governments and some other ethnic groups that are residents in Lagos State. Last year it was done on the island. This year we are bringing it to the mainland. Of course, next year we'll be looking at another location, because the aim of government is to take this program all around Lagos. It's not this carnival now, so it's not a program that will be static in a place. It will be moving around Lagos State. Why? Because His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, in his acceptance as the Governor of Lagos State, has promised Lagosians that it's going to run a government of inclusion where no one will be left behind. Not in infrastructure alone, in every sense of governance. And he has been doing that, systematically since he became the Governor of Lagos State, especially using Project Days as a trust that will turn around the economy of the state and to achieve excellence in the real sense of it. Lagos is center of excellence, but we are using Project Days, that is tourism, hospitality, entertainment and arts and sports, to achieve that excellence and to change the narrative of Lagos as a tourism destination. So come 3rd December, we invite all and sundry, Lagosians to come enjoy themselves. And the program is not only going to be for adults alone. The children will have their own corner, family will have their own corner to come and enjoy. We have, driven a lot of artists from different perspectives, not only hip hop. We have hip hop artists, we have Fuji, we have Waka, Juju, gospel, and the rest of it. And at the same time, we have cultural groups that will come on display on that day. The program will be starting from 12 noon in the afternoon to 12 midnight on that day. And apart from coming to enjoy yourself, I know that small scale business people will have their own opportunity even at that place. So even though we create an enabling environment for people to enjoy themselves, there's also an enabling avenue for small scale people to even come and sell their wares, like people that are selling drink. Are you doing roasted fish, asun, and the rest of it? Because a lot of them will be allocated spaces for them to come and sell their products. So as we enjoy, economic activity is going on, and we have mapped out the security of the place is very, very important. We have already worked on that, and security of life and property around that axis on that day is very, very secure. We are going to close some road. The Ministry of Transport and LASMA, they are on top of it, and we will be announcing as we go on which areas that vehicles will not be able to to go. We have changed some routes for vehicles to move and for people to move, and there are designated areas where people coming from other areas can actually park and take a shuttle to the arena on that day.
Early in the week, Lagos State government unveiled plans for better health care coverage in the state, tagged Articulated Human Resources for Health Strategic Plan 2018 to 2022. Speaking at the validation exercise of the plan, Commissioner for Health, Lagos State, Dr. Jide Idris said the plan demonstrated the state's government's commitment and resolve to investing in the process of strengthening and improving the current health workforce in the state. Wife of the state governor, Bonlale Ambode, has once again called on expectant mothers to utilize the primary health centers and skilled birth attendants to reduce cases of maternal and infant mortality in the state. She gave the charge at a town hall meeting at a Ekpe local government organized by the State Ministry of Health. Mrs. Ambode noted that the refusal by expectant mothers for various reasons to access obstetric services was a major contributor to the maternal mortality rate in the state. She stressed that while the role of traditional birth attendants is acknowledged, it is important that they know their limitations and ensure prompt referrals to primary health care centers. The governor's wife, who urged women to pay attention to their nutrition during pregnancy, enlisted the support of families, religious and community groups to win the battle against the menace. Lagos State on Wednesday commenced the process of clearing Apapa Mile 2 axis of illegal parking of tankers and articulated vehicles. The action, the government said, is aimed at freeing Apapa Oshodi Expressway of traffic grilled. The General Manager of Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, Olawale Musa, said despite series of meetings the agency had with stakeholders on the imperative of freeing Apapa of all traffic impediments, vehicles were still parked on the rails. He said no responsible government will fold its arms and allow lawlessness and impunity to reign. According to him, this informed the setting up of a special task force comprising Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigerian Navy, Police, Civil Defense and Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, under the chairmanship of the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Edgar Imohimi, to rid Apapa and its environs of illegal parking and menace of articulated vehicles. The Bus Conductors Association of Nigeria says its members in Lagos will start wearing uniforms from January 2018 for security and effective service delivery. The national president of the association, Israel Adeshola, said the operational uniform will bring sanity to the service in the state. According to him, the association started training of members in Lagos and educating them on the job procedures and attitudinal change while on duty. He said the association is working on eradicating the menace of using underage boys as bus conductors across the state, as only persons from 18 years of age are qualified to join the association. Finally on the show, Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has expressed sadness over the demise of first Vice President of Nigeria and elder statesman Alex Ekwueme. Dr. Ekwueme, who was the first elected Vice President of Nigeria from 1979 to 1983, died in a London hospital at the age of 85 after a brief illness. Governor Ambode in a statement described Ekwueme as a complete gentleman, a thoroughbred scholar, a philanthropist, and a politician par excellence, who contributed his own quota to serving his country and humanity. Ambode urged the family to uphold the ideas he stood for, saying the nation will continue to draw inspiration from his life and times.
Dr. Alex Ifanichukwu Ekwueme, GCON, was born on October 21, 1932 in Oko Orumba, North Local Government Area of Anambra State. He started primary school at the St. John's Anglican Central School, Ekwulobia, after which he proceeded to King's College, Lagos for the secondary education. He proceeded to the United States of America for his higher education. As an awardee of the Fulbright Scholarship of the United States, Alex attended the University of Washington, where he earned a bachelor's degree in architecture and city planning and obtained his master's degree in urban planning. Dr. Ekwueme also earned degrees in sociology, history, philosophy, and law from the University of London. He later proceeded to obtain a PhD in architecture from the University of Strathclyde before gaining the BL degree from the Nigerian Law School. Ekwueme was a distinguished architect. He started his professional career as an assistant architect with a Seattle-based firm, Leo A. Darley and Associates, and also with the London-based firm Nixon and Partners. On his return to Nigeria, he joined SOS Africa, Lagos, overseeing the construction and maintenance department. He then went on to create a successful private business with his firm, Ekwueme Associates, Architects and Town Planners, the first indigenous architectural firm in Nigeria. His practice flourished with 16 offices spread all over Nigeria. Dr. Ekwueme had presided over the Nigerian Institute of Architects and the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria. He was also the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. In addition to his many public service roles, Dr. Ekwueme had an active educational trust fund that has been responsible for sponsoring the education of several hundred youths to universities in Nigeria and abroad. In 1978, after the military lifted the ban on politics, he, with some Nigerians, formed the National Party of Nigeria, NPN, which won and was elected vice president to Shehu Shagari in 1979. Before his passing, he was the Ide of the Oko Kingdom in Anambra State, where his younger brother, Professor Lazarus Ekwueme, reigns as the traditional ruler. Recently, Dr. Ekwueme was called upon by the ruling party in Nigeria to head the Reconciliation Committee in the wake of the intra-party discord and after the recent presidential election. Among the several honors and awards for the late Vice President is the Grand Commander of the Niger, GCON, and before that, he was honored with the Order of the Republic of Guinea and Nigeria, a second highest national honors of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON.
That's how far we can go on this week's edition of the show. Thanks for watching, and do stay tuned same time next week for another package.
Beautiful Lagos, hey. Land of mercy, land of success. For Lagos, everything is done change. I say Governor Ambode is doing a great job. Street lights all over Lagos. He's bringing out the beauty in Lagos. Beautiful Lagos, hey. Land of mercy, land of success. For Lagos, everything is done change. I say Governor Ambode is doing a great job. Street lights all over Lagos.